Okay, welcome to our daily countdown on Nigeria Super Fans Forum. It is now 10 days, officially 10 days to the kickoff of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. And of course, the teams across the world, teams that are participating in the tournament, of course, clubs across the world, I'm sure they're making preparations now. I heard that some clubs are already fixing friendly games for players who will not be going to the World Cup. So it means that even those who will not be going to the World Cup will not even have much time to rest, because they will want them to be fit. While those at the World Cup, of course, they are getting match fitness and all that. So today on the show, we'll kick off in Morocco, where there's been controversy. There's been, I don't know, maybe I should call it a debate about the coach. I'm talking about Regragui. We will be taking the Atlas Lions to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Remember that, of course, Coach Alizoji was sacked. He was sacked after qualifying Morocco to the tournament. And again, we go to Ghana, where 21-man technical team has been put together by the GFA and Otto Addo for this 2022 FIFA World Cup. Yeah, you heard that right. 21-man technical team. And of course, the makeup is, well, we have a lot of indigenous coaches in Ghana. I think it is good altogether. So, Kaido Gundare and James Agberebi joins us via video as we continue our daily calendar. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Femi. A pleasure to be here.
Okay, guys, I know you remember. I'll start with Kyle. You remember when Coach, of course, Vahid Ali Hozic was sacked after qualifying the Atlas Lions to the tournament because he had issues with some players. And when this new coach, when he came in, he brought in these same players, including Hakim Ziyech, and of course, they played in the friendlies for the build-up to the World Cup. And people in Morocco have been raising concern about the pedigree of these coaches. Remember, we've also said that even the Tunisian coach, we've also talked about his pedigree. But what do you think, Coyote? They're saying that it doesn't make sense to sack an experienced coach and to bring one, though he won the CAF Champions League with the Moroccan club this year. But they are saying it's still not enough. We are going to the World Cup, not a CAF Confederations Cup, or not even African Cup of Nations. Coyote, what do you think?
I think those who are saying that are very, very ignorant. When in 1994, when Clemens Westerhoff took Nigeria to the USA, what World Cup experience did he have at that time? The late Bruno Metsu, when he took Senegal to the World Cup in 2002, what World Cup experience did he have? There's always an entry level in this job. There's always an entry level. There's a point at which you have your first World Cup tournament, your first AFCON tournament. This will be this coach's first World Cup. It doesn't mean they are not good. Otto Addo has never been to the World Cup as a coach. But you know what? He's going now. Chris Hilton is going to the World Cup. Now, he hasn't been to the World Cup before as a coach. So these things happen. You should not, when people talk about pedigree, I just laugh. Because, Femi, if it is sure that there's a coach, one coach alive today that you can point at and say this coach is sure to win the World Cup for any country that he takes to the World Cup, then I'll be willing and ready to advise the government of my country, of any country, to please sign up that coach because it is sure he's going to win. Nobody is sure. There's always a first time for everything. What will determine what will make the difference between the winners and the losers will be three things for me: the quality of the players, the quality of coaching, and the level of preparations for me. Those three things are key. You understand? If you have good quality players and then everything coming together for you at the right time, that's also very, very important. We've seen great teams in the past lose at the first round. We've seen great teams lose in the second round. So nobody's going to kill anybody. But when you could accuse a coach of many things, and you telling me he doesn't have pedigree is what I do not agree. If pedigree works when you're on the job, Femi, if it's your first time, it is your first time. Okay, how do you expect the coach to have pedigree if you don't take him to the World Cup? Will they come and give him a certificate of pedigree at home? No. He has to go to the World Cup before he has the pedigree you're talking about. So where do you want him to get the pedigree from? So when we talk down on our coaches like this, we are doing more harm than good to ourselves. Because these coaches, the Moroccan will not come to Nigeria to come and get a job. It is the duty of the Nigerian to support the Nigerian. The same way Ghana should support Otto Addo, Cameroon should support Rigobert's son, Senegal should support Cisse and the rest of them. If you do not support your own, who do you want to support? This coach is the Senegalese coach, Cisse, as good as we all say he is today. He cannot go to Poland to say he wants to go and coach their national team. If not for any other thing, the color of his skin will speak against him. So where do you want him to get the experience if you don't allow him to go to the World Cup with your film? We've seen it in Nigeria, Femi. In 2010, when the late Amadou Shaibu helped Nigeria to qualify for the World Cup, we said it wasn't good enough. We went to bring a certain Las Lager back. We all know how that story ended. So I don't want to say more than that, but let us value what we have. These coaches are ours, and this is a very momentous period for Africa. This is the first time ever that all the African teams going to the World Cup are going to be coached by indigenous coaches. Let us seize that moment. Let us see it as a victory for the indigenous coaches. Do not let us deprive them of this opportunity, Femi. We shouldn't cut our nose to spite our face. No, we shouldn't.
Okay. James, Regogi is 47 and he won the league in Qatar waited to have. That he came back home, he won domestic double, and of course, the CAF Champions League, of course, with a white dad. Now, people have been saying that this experience is still not enough. But I think if you ask me, I'll go with Kayode, because if you do not give people opportunity, the experience wouldn't be there. What do you think, James? Because they are saying that the level of expectation on this Moroccan team, it's almost like the best they've assembled since we had the Mustafa Aji brothers in the Atlas Lions. What do you think, James?
Well, point of correction, this is not the best assembled Moroccan team. I think I've seen very good side. Even the team that went to US 94, compared to this present one, that team was loaded. Forget the fact that they didn't qualify from the group stage. That was a very good team.
Where you had the Nuruddin Nebe?
Mohamed Baja, you say what's his name, Aji, all those guys. So come to the coach. I mean, I want to liken his issue with the late Stephen Keshi. I mean, Keshi took Nigeria to the World Cup in 2014. We had Carlos Courage was the coach of Iran. He is a well-known coach who was assistant to Alex Ferguson and the head coach of one-time head coach of Real Madrid, but who qualified from the group stage. Stephen Keshi qualified Nigeria ahead of Carlos Courage. And even Bosnia, they had Dzeko, they had Pjanic, they had all those, and they had a decent coach. Stephen Keshi qualified from that group stage. These guys, they went home early. So what are we saying? So sometimes I just have to give these coaches the platform, the opportunity. If you don't give them this opportunity, how are you sure? How are you going to make them improve themselves? Fine, they're not going to the World Cup to win it. But if he goes to the World Cup and give a decent performance, I mean, it could serve Morocco. Beyond this World Cup, there are so many tournaments ahead after this World Cup. So why all this noise and shout? And remember when the former coach was having issue with some players, and it was the same people, fans who are clamoring for a change. Now you have a new coach, you're still complaining. So what else do they want? This is not the time to start shouting and complaining that no, there is not experience. This is somebody who won the CAF Champions League. You know, as if they just brought him from nowhere. I mean, he has been to a major tournament. Though the World Cup is a different ballgame. But I mean, you have to start off from somewhere. So if they are smart, they just keep him. I believe if Morocco has quality players who will do well at the World Cup, fine, they may not go very far, but at least we also what they did at the last edition. Fine, they didn't qualify from the group stage, but they gave a decent performance. No team walked over them. They did very well, So for me, they just have to relax and make sure that they give the team the good support. And who knows, maybe the coach will emulate what Stephen Keshi did for Nigeria in 2014. But the last time Morocco qualified from the group stage, but in 1986. I mean, you want your team to go to the World Cup and do well, but this is not the way to go about it. I mean, they need all the support that all this one now is just distraction. Are you going to change the coach now when the World Cup is just less than 20 days to go? I mean, what they should be focused on now is good preparation. Hope that none of their players get injured. So that's just it.
Okay, so I think the Moroccans are just looking at maybe a more experienced coach, according to them, that will be able to manage this talent so that they can, of course, do well at the tournament. Remember that they are looking to better their feat since 1986 when they go to the second round. Kyle, let me throw this to you. Like we said, after the 55-man provisional list was released by Otto Addo, of course, he also unveiled a 21-man technical team, and that team has 8 different coaches and also has a video analyst. He has one, I think, the physio and other technical personnel in that team. Some Ghanaians are saying it is quite too large, too bogus. What do you think? 21-man technical team.
If I saw the list, Femi, and I saw the designation, if everybody has their work spelled out, it isn't too large for me, given my experience with other teams. I know, for example, that the backroom staff of the England national team is a bit bigger than that. So also Brazil, France, and Germany and the rest of these bigger teams. If their job schedule is spelled out, it is not. But I have some gray areas that I also would have loved Otto Addo to touch on. I see a designation like local coaches. Are they going on industrial attachment of what to the World Cup?
I saw Dr. Professor Ogun there. I saw Samuel Badby there.
So what is their job specification? That's what I would like to know. I'm not saying they don't have a right to be there, but what is their job specification? What are they going there to do? Because sometimes it begs down to the case of too many cooks spoiling the broth. If you have too many people without anything tangible to do, Femi, they will look for mischief. They will stir up rebellion against the head coach amongst the players and all sorts of things. But if everybody has what they are doing, Femi, I know for certain that Australia, they have a office that is created in the FA for the manager in charge of fixtures. That's what he does. He just arranges interfaces with other national teams that wants to play Australia. That's his job. Nigeria, for example, don't have anybody like that. It is our president that goes about arranging friendly matches with teams. So these are well spelled out offices. Is that the case with the Ghanaian team? What is the job of these local coaches that we saw?
And I think just for this World Cup, so that is the particular concern.
That's what I'm saying. What is their job? I'm not saying they don't have a right to be on the team. I'm not saying they should not go. But Femi, let us know what exactly they are going to be doing in the team. Are they going to just go there and observe how things are done, or they are going to go there and be picking balls, or they're going to go there and have technical input into the team? That's what I find very, very amusing in the whole thing.
Okay, James. Do you think maybe the GFA just decided to make this list 21-man technical team, maybe in order to give the local coaches the opportunity to learn at this stage, maybe to learn under Otto Addo? I wouldn't know. But do you think it is just a means to make the local coaches learn? Because like Kyle, they said, it's just for this World Cup, and of course, their roles, their functions are not even properly spelled out.
Well, when I saw the list, I was shocked. It was just too much. Like when I started reading comments from Ghanaians, I mean, they were now tying the dates to the reason why we say the budget for this World Cup is too much. Well, what are all these people going there to do? You know, that this is the reason why they are going to spend that they just want to throw money away because of just the tournament that some of them were saying they don't see the team going far. I mean, so for me, Otto has the right to. But the another thing there is we don't know whether it's Otto that drew up this list. That's another thing, you know. So,
but would you think GFA would have imposed a particular set of technical team on Otto Addo and he would accept? Do you think so?
You know, sometimes this thing is sometimes about what the way we do our own things here. The GFA, as if they do the coaches favor, you know. So they all feel whatever they throw at the coaches, they just have to accept. We will not try this with a decent foreign coach. I mean, you know that they will object to this thing. So I mean, there are some positions that I saw I felt, I mean, this is unnecessary. Why this? I think I saw a place where we have two people in the same position from the list that I saw. Then I saw, fine, there's nothing bad when you take a local coach to the World Cup. I mean, it tends to help the coach to, improve on their whatever they're doing. But for me, realistically speaking, I think the list is too much. I mean, it's going to cause a kind of distraction, honestly speaking. Because we've had cases in the past where we hear of this a kind of a divided camp. Some people are for the coach, some people are for the GFA. You remember in 2002, Mali, Nigeria, Super Eagles. Remember when some delegates went from Nigeria we all hear what happened. There was a divided camp. Some people were listening to the then sports minister. Those for the players. Everywhere was just a huge mess. So I just hope this list will not be a distraction, because a lot of people are really complaining about it. Like I said, there's nothing wrong. They have the right to drop whatever list, but I hope at the end of the day we will not start hearing things like, some people were just there to cause confusion. They are just there to do this and do that. I mean, for me, like I said, it's just too much, and I hope it's not something that will now backfire. I'll start hearing, because you're going to all this involves money. It involves money. So I just hope at the end of the day they will not start saying that, now use that as an excuse why they didn't do well at the World Cup, because they went with all kinds of people to the World Cup. So let's just hope all this thing will not be the drawback for the Black Stars at the World Cup.
All right, Kayode and James Aberibi, thank you for your wonderful analysis on our daily countdown and Jasper Fans Forum.
Thank you, Femi.
Thank you, Femi. Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
So to our fans around the world, we thank you for sticking with us and keeping faith with us. Tomorrow will be 9 days, 7 days, and 7 days, of course, 7 weeks, just 1 week rather, 1 week and 2 days to the commencement of the World Cup. It's already here, it's already upon us. So we are wishing all the African teams all the best to do well, to do the continent proud in Qatar at the World Cup. So until tomorrow, I remain Olufemi Ashaolu. Catch up with you. Bye for now.